Okay, so in the last video where we were at, let me bring up Fusion really quick. I mean, you could see where we're at, but I want to, in case anybody didn't see the previous video, just want to touch base with it. Plus, there's no music in this one, so hopefully YouTube won't jump down my throat over that. I'm so tired of that. I'm just trying to listen to my music. I'm not trying to promote music. I don't support any particular thing. I have no opinion. I don't get paid for an opinion. I just like my music. And then they got to jump down my throat because it's in the background. I'm like, maybe I need headphones. Today would be nice. It's 420. Happy 420, y'all. I'm not doing anything. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna load. If it will load, I swear I have so much running right now. You don't understand. I've got Photoshop running. Let's see, I've got Photoshop, I got my VLC playing, Notepad, Splicer, Frontier, Fusion. It's laggy. And I've got a lot of RAM, so it shouldn't really be laggy. So where we were at was the MOSFET transistor. And we designed this earlier. It is going to take a moment to load, and I'm going to skip and let this do a parametric history play. So we're going to play the history so you can kind of see what we did. We did a couple of boxes, split it, did a mirror, flipped it around, did some little editing, added legs, chamfered everything, and then that was it. So that's where we're at. We're officially all the way to it has been chamfered and combined into one solid piece. And this is supposed to be a MOSFET bookmark, which I then loaded. Oops. Come on, you laggy job. Cancel. Lord, this is aggravating to no end. So I loaded it into Splicer, which I can now close. And I don't need Fusion anymore. And where we're at now is we are 93 point some odd percent. And if you look, it's now printing, there's one sub layer right beneath this. Now, obviously, I'm going to give this a second. It does take a minute, and I apologize for that. But 3D printing is a patient process, so patience we must have. But the overall goal was really just to kind of show you what I do, which is I have an idea. I decide, okay, what do I want to do with that idea? Do I want to make it a reality, or do I want to just, leave it be? Well, I need a bookmark for my electronics books, and I said, well, what better thing than a bookmark that has some form of electronic theme to it? And then my brain went straight to a MOSFET, which is a field effect transistor, and it's got 3 legs, which is perfect for, clipping into your book, or if you don't want to do that, if the pages could get damaged, you could just lay it in where you want it to be. And then it's big enough that it would stick up and you would see, hey, look, there's a transistor in my book. Or at least that's the idea. And as you can see, we're almost to the very top layer because we're 95% done. So I didn't know exactly how long it was going to take. We are 4.5 minutes in to this video already, which is longer than I wanted it to be, but I did want to show what it looks like on these projects that I do, because a lot of times I don't show the actual process. I just say, hey, look, this is something I've done. Alright, so now you should be able to see the green lines, adding the final perimeter. There you go, and aha. This is usually my favorite part because this program is not very far behind where the printer really is. And the only reason we haven't been watching the printer is because, quite frankly, I don't feel like standing over the printer watching it do lines back and forth. Now when it's doing the infill, I'm not going to lie, the infill is fascinating to watch because it's a honeycomb. And watching that joker whiz around the table and, you know, make something out of nothing but filament is still, the new has not worn off, and I don't think it's going to, because every time I do something with this, it just amazes me that I can take an idea from my head. Anybody, really, anybody could take an idea from their head and make it a reality, and then they can take it and hold it and look at it and go, wow, I made that, and have a little, you know, sense of accomplishment, because there's nothing wrong with that, you know. Don't let anybody tell you you shouldn't be proud of something you've accomplished. Not everything is easy. Somebody else watching may look at this and go, I have no idea how to operate 3D programs, and that's fine, you know. But if you decide that's something you want to do, it's really, really not that bad. It just is intimidating at first because there's so much information. But once you get past the initial shock of, you know, this is new, it's not that bad at all. So, you know, just food for thought. Well, this is getting almost through, and when it gets a little bit closer, I'll walk over to the printer and we can, I mean, it's right next to me, so. Now, I'm not going to pull it off of the print bed on camera, and I'm not going to use it on camera because you really only have to see it, but, or maybe I will. I might. Well, it's nearly through. Let's see what it's looking like. So this is the reality. This is what it's really looking like. I can see my chamfers. Chamfers look nice. The legs look good. They're a little thicker than they probably should be, but, you know, I want it to be, you know, relatively firm. There we go. It's completed. We now have a MOSFET in 3D printed form for a bookmark. And I'm going to set my phone down precariously on top of my print bed because I got to remove this thing. Moving on down. Ta-da! We now have a MOSFET bookmark with really, oh, those are nice, extra flexible. Now there was some hairs. There was a little stringing involved, but you know something? I'm not mad at it. Let's set this camera down here and take a look. We can just take these hairs and pull on them a little bit. They should just come right out. In fact, I've got a pocket knife right here, after a fashion. And we can just take and kind of come in here in this groove and kind of scrape at that. Alright. I believe that's finished. Put my handy dandy pocket knife up. Now, we have a nice looking bookmark, if I do say so myself. I made it myself, so I will say that it looks good. How about that? And then we can show you exactly why I made this thing. I don't like that. My Art of Electronics book, it's a nice book. Right now I have it here because I'm studying common emitter amplifiers for just entertainment purposes, and I do not like this piece of paper. Let's see how this works. I don't really need it in there. Look at that. You now have a transistor bookmark. Until next time.